Hello students, welcome to online classes of Shri Mahavir International School. Students, in last video we discussed about the heat and the thermometer, and we had started the method by which heat can transfer from one region to another. So in the series of transferring of heat, we had started the conduction process, in which I told you that in conduction process it mostly take place in solids, but sometimes it take place in liquid and gases, which we will discuss in higher classes. And mostly the metals are good conductors because they allow heat transfer, and the substance which do not allow heat for transferring are called bad conductor and are called what? Insulator. Second thing, yes, now there is an activity, students, to demonstrate that heat travels in metals through conduction process. How heat transfer in metals by conduction method? Let's see. To demonstrate that heat travels in metals through conduction, take an iron rod and fix few nails on it with the help of wax. Place the rod on a table as shown in the figure. Heat the free end of the rod with the help of a candle. You will observe that the nail closest to the heated end of the rod falls first. After that, the second nearest nails falls down, and so on. So students, in this activity, what we have to do, we have to take a metallic rod, okay, and we have to place it on a bench. Then we have to take some wax, and with the help of wax we have to stick some iron nails with the help of wax, okay, and the one end of that rod will be heated by a lightning candle. Then what will happen, students, in this activity, if you heat this end, then the closest nail is what? This is the closest nail of this lightning candle. Then heat will transfer from this end to in this side, okay. Then first, that iron nail this iron nail will fall down, because that heat will transfer from this this hot point to this cold point. I hope you have understood this activity. Now there is another activity number 6, to show that wood is a bad conductor of heat. Students, I told you the good conductor and the bad conductor. What is the difference between each other? In good conductor, heat can transfer easily, but in bad conductor like the air, plastic, wood, heat cannot transfer easily. So let's see in this activity what has been told. Take a matchstick and light it, okay. Do you feel the heat of the burning matchstick from your finger holding it? No, you only feel its heat when the flame comes close to your fingers. This is because the wood is a bad conductor of heat. Simply, students, you have to take a matchstick, okay, and if you have taken a stick and you have burned that, and if you hold from this side, okay, then you will not feel heat, okay. Why? Because the handle of this matchstick is made up of what? Wood, and wood is bad conductor of heat. Now activity number 7, to show that water is a bad conductor of heat. Water is also bad conductor of heat, but how? Take a test tube and fill it half with water. Take a piece of ice and wrap it in a copper wire. Put it inside the test tube. Hold the test tube with the test tube holder over a flame. You will observe that even though the water starts boiling, the ice does not melt fully. This is because heat has not been transferred to the ice fully through the water molecules. This clear shows that the water is a bad conductor of heat. So the students, what is the conclusion of this activity? By this activity, now we are able to say that water is also a bad conductor. Now the applications of conduction in daily life. In our daily life, what kind of uses there of conduction process? So metals which are good conductor of heat are used to make cooking utensils like the pans and pressure cooker, so that heat gets transferred to the food that has to be cooked. So like the pressure cooker and the pan, these are the examples of metals and which can be used for the cooking food, and through the conduction process heat can transfer in such utensils. Second, the mercury, a liquid metal. This mercury is called liquid metal, is used in thermometer because it expands on heating and rises up. Now uses of insulator. Students, what are the uses of insulator? Handles of cooking materials are made up of plastic, wood and bakelite, and because they are bad conductor of heat. Wool is used to make woolen clothes that are worn in winter because wool is an insulator and trap the body. Students, can you see this picture? Okay, in this picture as you see the handle of this utensils is made up of what? Made up of wood. Okay, so through that utensil the heat will not transfer in that handle because it's made up of wood or plastic. And therefore in winter especially we prefer woolen clothes to protect us from the harsh weather like the cold, because it prevent the heat of our body to transfer in nature. Now students, after conduction process there is another process and method by which heat can transfer, and that is called what? Convection. Yes, that is convection. Convection in liquid and gases. The process of transfer of heat in liquids and gases from the hotter part of a substance to the colder part by the actual movement of particles is called convection. For example, when you mix hot water in cold water, the mixed water becomes warm. The molecules of hot water moves to cold water and heat it up. It means, for example, what happens when the heat transfer take place by the actual movement of particles and the molecules, we can say that is called the convection. And especially whenever we heat the water, this convection method is used there, because for example, if you taken water in a bucket, okay, and if you are heating that bucket which contain the water, then what will happen in this process? The water will, sorry, how the water will heat. Okay, the molecules which comes in contact with the heat, okay, will become energetic, okay, and they will come on, they will be lighter, okay, they will become light and they will rises upward, okay, and the cold part will come in contact with the heat, and again that will become lighter and that will come on the surface of that water. So this method take place in the convection and gases, and in liquid and the gases convection method is used to transfer the heat. As convection requires the movement of molecules, convection is not possible in solid because the molecules in solid are held by strong intermolecular force. Yes, students, in solid convection method cannot take place because convection method required movement of molecules, but as we know in solid there is strong strong intermolecular forces which do not allow to transfer the molecule from one place to another place. Now student, there is an activity, that is activity number 8, to show the transfer of heat by convection. Students, in this activity we will learn that how convection method uses in water and how the heat transfer by the molecules. Take a flask half filled with water, add a few crystals of potassium permanganate to it. You will observe that the water at the bottom becomes colored but remains clear at the top. Heat this solution over a flame. As the water gets heated, you will see columns of colored liquid rising up in the flask. This happens because the water molecules at the bottom gets heated, rise up and carry energy with them. Transfer of heat by the movement of molecules from hotter to colder region occurs through convection. Students, you have to take a flask. Understood? Simply you have taken a flask. And in this flask, if you have added the potassium permanganate, okay, and it contain water also, then what will happen? If you heat that flask, then the bottom of this flask contain potassium permanganate, that's why it shows the color, and the upper part of this flask which also contain water but clear water. If you start heating, then what will happen? That molecules of water which comes in the contact with potassium permanganate and they are colored, so that will become light and will be rises upward, okay. So you can easily notice the movement of the molecules. So overall we can say this shows the what? This shows the convection method which take place in liquid. Now the applications of convection in daily life. Students, in our daily life, how the convection method uses and what is the importance of convection method in our daily life, and how in other like liquid and other gases the convection method take place, we will discuss in next video students. So whatever I have taught you students, you have to study at home, okay, and read the further chapter also, which we will discuss in next video.